Hello everybody and welcome to Game 2 of the best of two between AR, Argentinian Rejects, and Flipside Tactics, NA. We just saw a very interesting Game 1, and I say interesting in the sense that Argentinian Rejects did this very non-conventional draft, but had a very good idea behind it, but failed in their execution, mainly because Flipside Tactics was able to identify it, took all the advantages that they needed to, and just pushed to win, and just found all the kills that they needed to. The aggressive tri-lane for Flipside Tactics got the early first blood, and was able to sort of snowball from there, having the early level advantage, having level 2 on their supports, whereas the Jakiro and Lion were both stuck at level 1. That is not what you want to happen with two very greedy supports. And then Chibi was able to completely destroy the middle lane somehow. I wish I had kind of watched it a little bit closer, but when you're casting, you watch the aggressive try on the defensive try. You watch the try on try most of the time. But anyways, Chibi able to clean up the mid lane. Jenkins made sure that the offlane Void could get absolutely no farm whatsoever, and it was just a very interesting game to watch. What happens when a very standard draft from Flipside Tactics comes out against a very non-conventional draft from AR, and if that draft was not practiced enough or didn't have all the kinks sorted out, like what do we do if they level 1 us, then yeah. So Argentinian Rejects ended up did lose that game, mainly because their draft had a lot of flaws in it, especially the what happens when they run at us with a Blink Dagger Dragon Knight flaw. So their idea was to do this very slow siege with a lot of team fights, so that they would sort of dissuade the enemy from going into them, and then Flipside were just like, okay, we're just going to kill you a lot, and that's what happened. Final scoreboard, I believe, was 2-18, with Flipside taking the victory. But let's go ahead into this draft. We see the Razor being banned out right away by Argentinian Rejects. They're like, no, we're not dealing with that again. And the Faceless Void being banned out. Faceless Void on Radiant does have a bit better if you want to run him in the off lane, because he does have that extra little pull camp of the hard camp. Then we have a Doom and a Brewmaster being banned out by Flipside Tactics. Not surprising whatsoever. Two just very annoying and obnoxious to deal with heroes that both get farm, no matter how hard you're trying to shut them down. We are going to see that the Lycan did get through the pool, and Flipside Tactics are going to be the ones to go ahead and pick that up. However, that does mean they are giving a Lycan to a Dire side team, which is very concerning. So they're going to have to guarding that Roche Pit very quickly, but they do pick up the Death Prophet in return. So if the Death Prophet does well against what I'm expecting is the Viper mid, then they should be alright. Might even be able to get an early Roche, considering they also took the Shadow Shaman. Making sure that they didn't just give away like 8 free Roaches in a 20-minute game. I know that's not possible, but it's the exaggeration is the point. And we have a Tidehunter ban again from Argentinian Rejects. I guess just a very afraid of that teamfight presence, that overwhelming teamfight presence, as well as the Pugna. Not so sure about the Pugna ban, but once again, just if they sort of dissuading Flipside Tactics from going to the all balls to the wall push lineup. We're going to see a Wraith King ban from the side of Flipside Tactics, sort of afraid of that guaranteed stun. I'm guessing what that also means is that they're running a defensive try with the Shadow Shaman this time instead of an offensive try. And I only say that because you typically, especially with this Jakiro pickup, but you don't want to have that guaranteed stun and that ridiculous tank early on. It's very hard to deal with, especially on the defensive side. And they also banned the Nature's Prophet, probably just saying like, no, I don't really get that ban as much, but I'm guessing they have good reason for it. Probably just don't want to deal with the absurd split push with having two big Necrobook carriers with the Lycan and the Nature's Prophet, and don't want to have anybody who they have to defend against other than a Lycan. And they're probably just going to push in the, like, what'll probably happen, this is, I'm guessing their game plan is that they're going to go defensive try, and then find wherever the Lycan is, push his lane in to, like, probably toward, if not getting their tier 2, towards the tier 2, after taking the T1 mid as quickly as possible with that Death Prophet, to make sure that they don't have a total rush advantage, and then just make sure that the Lycan can never get to Roche, just like physically, just secure as much map control as early as possible, try and just starve out Argentinian Rejects. But it should be pretty hard, especially with a Viper being so tanky, a Lycan being so tanky, now a Centaur picked up just 3 absurdly hard to kill heroes, as well as the Shadow Demon, who can just save anybody in a pinch with that disruption. But we do have a Jakiro picked up for Flipside Tactics, no surprise there. More pushing heroes, and a Weaver picked up. Also no real surprise, just because if you look at Argentinian Reject's squad, they don't have much hard lockdown. Yeah, they've got a disruption, but that doesn't do anything while Weaver is invis, like to slow him down. Anyways, and also if they do it while he's outside of invis, then it just gives his Sakuchi more time to come up. The Viper has both his Q and his R, but at the same time, those were only slow but not kill. Those do a lot of damage in the early levels, and might be able to find some good damage onto that Weaver and kill him before time lapse. And a Lycan who just has no CC. That's just the hero. So they kind of analyzed that flaw in their lineup and said, hey, you don't have anything to stop this Weaver, so we're just gonna farm up on him. Might not even need to get a Lincoln's on him. Probably just like might even just go like crazy aggressive, get like a BKB Deso and just run through your entire lineup and just tear apart your team fights that you want to be very, very easy. Lycan kind of just wants to chase whichever target's low. Viper wants to just slow down and kite. Centaur just wants to stun. And yeah, I mean, the scariest part about Argentinian Rejects' Trapped is probably that Centaur Dazzle combo. Though you can't kill yourself on Double Edge, the Shallow Grave can still make sure that if you were going to kill yourself in Shallow Grave and die to a source right afterwards, you have at least, like, I believe it's 3 seconds? 5 seconds, sorry. I apologize. So 5 seconds to survive afterwards. And I believe, let's do a little check real quick. Yes, that will make that will be it, so that if you would die to a liquid fire tick before Shallow Grave, then you wouldn't. But if you do a liquid liquid fire after the Shallow Grave goes out and you're at 1 HP, you will die. Just because, yeah, reasons. But yeah, let's see. Flipside Tactics are going to commit to this full crazy push. They can either pick up an offlaner or they can pick up another support. Sorry, my brain just kind of stopped for half a second there. So it'll be very interesting to see what they go ahead and pick up here.
Venomancer.
And they do pick up Venomancer, and it's going to be played by Jenkins, so it'll be their offlaner. Okay, so I think I don't know how I feel about this. I'm going to be totally honest. One of the main reasons why they were able to do so well last, actually, oh, this could be interesting. I wonder if they're actually thinking about running an aggressive try with a Weaver, or with a Venomancer, Jakiro, Shadow Shaman. It's got a lot of AIDS damage, just a lot of slow damage over time stuff, and some good kill potential with a lot of lockdown. It might be able to shut down the Lycan even. But because I feel like AR, once again, sorry, default HUD. I was watching some other stuff, or I was playing some games earlier. But anyways, but yeah, AR might be saying like, oh, right, the aggressive try worked against us last time, let's run an aggressive try this time. And that might actually be what they're thinking here. So you have Scarbus on to that Viper. He is their mid player, so that will be a mid Viper. We've got Algo Donchin, or Algo as I've been calling him, going to be playing on that Lycan, going to be their easy lane farmer. We've got Posture. I've been calling him Potato on accident, so in my head anyways. We've got Posture on to that Dazzle. We've got Awareness on that Shadow Demon, and the Centaur going to be... Okay, sorry, that's really funny. That shouldn't have happened. On the on the Centaur, and this is a very scary aggressive try. Disruption can set up for Hoof Stomp. The Hoof Stomp will make sure that the Shadow Wave will hit all 3 targets, so that's 375 damage on top of that, even just at level 1. So this is a terrifying combination at the early levels, and I'm not sure how these 2 greedy supports are gonna fare against it. The Weaver should be fine. That's all I have to say. Sakuchi lasts, what, 4 seconds, so we'll have 2 seconds of... I mean, if he gets it right after the disruption, he might be able to phase out of it. for long enough, and I'll definitely live through the hoof stomp at least.
And here we go.
But none of these heroes have very much HP except for maybe the Jakiro. And they're just running after Nushin real quick. Sorry, they're just gonna run. Okay, they poked him once. Good job. Okay, Jenkins gonna be playing on that offlane Venomancer. Gonna be started up with a headdress and two pulled tangos. Gonna be doing just fine against this Lycan until level 6, and then the Lycan will run at his face, and then he will die. So if Jenkins does not have a mech or TP support, at that point in time, it will be very, very difficult for him. And Chibi versus Scarborough's is the Chibi as the Death Prophet, the Dragon Knight from last game. He did such an amazing job. I don't mean to flatter, but like, man, he just 2 solo kills on a Pugna. Okay, that's crazy. But anyways, so gonna be an interesting matchup here. I believe it's relatively even. A lot of they pretty much start with the same. Okay, and this is what I was talking about. Take your eyes off for 1 second and dead. And Sentry Ward put in lane. Oh, I just want to yell at them like, there's a sentry, don't engage. But yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Just the hoof stomp into heal, and after the disruption, and just anybody's dead. So this lane is the lane that is going to have the most death involved in it. Jenkins, let's check last hits. We'll be doing just fine against this
Dyer's mid tower.
this Lycan, so should be interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and just very, very closely watch this. We do see the disruption looking to come out. Oh, we might actually have a very. Oh no, got the good A click onto the creep. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say Dazzle accidentally got tower aggro and might have just fallen to just a couple more last hits. Lycan has disconnected from the game.
Technical difficulties.
All right. So let's go ahead and check out the sort of last hitting situation so far. So Lycan doing just fine. Standy. Hasn't forced any regen out of Jenkins just yet. He's going to try and hold on to it as long as possible so that the headdress has the maximum amount of versatility for a while.
All right, carry on.
Should be in the mid lane, doing just fine against the Viper, because the Viper has not managed to secure a last hit yet. But this is where we're watching. We're going to just be watching how well Shredder is able to find his last hits up against the squad. They're out of range of everything. Dazzle is extraordinarily out of position. Does not have Grave at level 2 and will fall. I believe that's a mistake. Unless they got a little bit overconfident. We're like, hey, we can take these fights no matter what. Screw you. So they are gonna go ahead. The bottom lane trades so far have been 1 for 1, which is pretty good. The big thing is that they are stopping Shredder from farming. At least to some extent. Not entirely, but he has been stalled out quite a bit. Not up at his friend's level of only 10 CS. Actually, no one's really farming well in this game so far, except for the Lycan. But this Lycan has already dispensed all of his mana going for those wolves. Trying to harass out the Venomancer a little bit. It has been working, so. And I believe that's being range. Oh, Shadow Demon Disrupt in the central placement. Oh, nice! Now you might be able to. No. I was going to say nice Ice Path, but not able to dissuade the Centaur long enough. So this is aggressive try, working out so far. They've been trading kills back and forth, which is kind of what you want to do, and shut down the farm of the Weaver. Weaver did, I believe he bought out just beforehand, so not the best possible situation, but you know, still good. The issue is that they have 2 sentry wards that are very close to each other, so maximum lane coverage, not exactly there, but yeah, it's top lane, just these 2 just trading farm, mid lane. Looks like Viper's actually getting very outplayed by this Death Prophet so far. And this Death Prophet will be able to start pushing down that tower. Disruption, gonna go out into the... Okay, Oh, actually, he might be able to live. The Centaur wasn't totally there yet, so wasn't able to get into a good enough position. They are gonna go ahead and should just trade supports. Oh, unless he can die to the neutrals? No, Weaver does manage to pick up the kill, but they trade both their supports on the side of Flipside for 1 support on the side of AR. So very nice trade coming out from AR. Shibby with a haste rune though, might be able to pick up some kills here. No, he's gonna just go ahead and back up. He is. It's just his life. The Prophet is bottled, they have double damage rune. Alright. So Shibby with full rune control right now. Sort of to be expected. Just gonna be some bottle crowing, I expect. Yeah, or no, not even gonna get a bottle on the Viper, so that's kind of interesting. Flipside Tactics though, not feeling too dissuaded. They have, I believe it is 4-4-3 for the supports and 3-4-3 4-3, I want to say. Oh, 4-3-2. So the Shadow Shaman taking the biggest hit of this so far. And this is sort of how you have to play against Shadow Shaman in this meta. So you have to go to his lane, you have to shut him down. Funny enough, was the last game, Flipsid were just like, screw you, and just sent him into the fray anyways. But he does need levels to get very strong. Level 1 Aether Shock doesn't do much damage at all, whereas level 2 it does a lot, and then level 3 it does even a lot more. And doesn't even have both of the CCs right now. So level 4 and 6 are two very big levels for a Shadow Shaman. But the Centaur is going to be doing probably the smartest thing to do in a situation like this is kill another person. Oh, actually, very nice ice path in the middle of that stop animation. They might be able to even go ahead and turn onto the Shadow. No, they should probably back off. Oh, nice Hex again. Just can't get this double edge off. And in fact, the stop off. In fact, if they get a kill on him, this would be really big. Because what I was about to say is that he is rushing just like straight up to this. Oh no, they're not gonna keep chasing. They might be able to turn on sports though. Maybe they're thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. Well, they gotta last it off. They gotta right click off. And they are gonna notice that he's coming back. So. But yeah, he is going straight for a blink dagger. Oh, nice. Once again, just like sort of a little bit of panic there, trying to figure out like, who's gonna disrupt, But they get this kill onto the Centaur, which it looks like, oh no, very big kill. One more, anything? Just do it. Just do a thing. There you go. Okay, good. Big kill onto the Shadow Shaman. But they are gonna go ahead and trade his life away for it too. So 2 for 2 is the trade out on to the bottom lane. But what I was going to say is they could kill him before this Blink Dagger came out. It would have been huge. But now they don't know about this Blink Dagger. And this is huge. Because no one expects the 6-minute off-lane, aggressive tri-lane Centaur to already have a Blink Dagger. And that could be really scary. Especially if the Shadow Shaman's reactions aren't totally on point. But Centaur is actually probably going to look to go to the middle lane. Getting a little bit of lag here. Sorry about that. That's just because we are actually on Brazilian servers at the moment. And my internet kind of sucks a little bit. But, you know, what can you do? So anyways, gonna see what the Centaur can do with his Blink Dagger. He has not been spotted by any Flipside Tactics members yet. Oh, a little bit more lag. No worries. But he is gonna go ahead and Blink Stomp onto 2. Big double edge 2, and it looks like Big Bird will go down. They might only be able to get a support out of it. No, they're gonna go ahead and chase after Shibby. He has one more double edge and he's fine, but can't get the blink off because of that illusion. So the one-time an illusion rune was useful. So yeah, very well played. Looks like he's not totally done yet. I don't know where he's going. Maybe he forgot that he's on Dire this game. I don't know. Maybe he's looking for a courier or something like that, but they should know it's 7 minutes. It's upgraded. Regardless, he's just kind of hovering around, being like, oop. So I wonder where they are. So AR doing much better in this game. However, Jenkins is being able to put on a tremendous amount of pressure onto this Lycan. I thought for sure that he would just be able to like get to 6 and run at him, but might even have to blow his ultimate here just not to die. Oh, he has no mana. That's the main reason. So Jenkins might trade his life for a very questionable kill. But yeah, will get the experience from the kill, so sort of worth it. And meanwhile, in the middle lane, I believe that the Centaur was there for that stop onto the Death Prophet to get the kill, and did get the kill. Interesting enough, he did not go for the extra point of Witchcraft. He went for the extra point of Crypt Swarm. I'm not a big fan of that, but you know, because at Witchcraft makes you have more witches, obviously, for your ultimate. So it makes your level 1 ultimate a lot stronger. Because as it is, it's pretty weak. I mean, it's not like, oh, why would you skill this weak? But it's like, it's just kind of weak. Okay, so we are gonna have a smoke. They should know that it's there. It's gonna come out on Shredder. Most likely we'll be taking a spill here. Time lapse back, but into tower range, and might still be able to get out alive. That's no. The Shadow Demon able to finish him off. Jenkins gonna just go ahead and be chased down here. No real way for him to get out. So he's gonna go ahead and take a spill there. And no one dead for the side of AR. This Blink Dagger on to the Centaur, just doing a tremendous amount of work. And this Lycan just able to run through everything. Just absolutely overrunning the supports. Flipside just desperate to get a good trade, just desperate for a kill, are going to go and run back through and try and pick up some of these like weaker support heroes. or maybe even the Viper, but Shredder might even be trading his life here if he's not totally careful. But he's going to keep going. But he needs to be aware that there are, yep, there's the Blink Stomp. They might even be able to get some follow-up kills. No, he gets out on 17 HP, so Corrosive Skin not getting a kill today. So the final trade there, I believe, was 4 for 1. Not good for Flipside Tactics by any extent of the imagination. But the big thing is that they do have the tower advantage of 1 so far. So once again, this isn't exactly like the normal meta where you see all tier 1 towers dead by 10 minutes and everyone dodging tri-lanes and everything. These two teams are willing to fight, but the problem is AR right now have just the better run you over team fight. Until this Carbulus gets some more tank up, mainly a Yules is almost entirely necessary. And until this Venom finishes mech, until these supports get some levels, mainly the 6 on Shadow Shaman, they just won't be able to do anything. And double word. But yeah, they just won't be able to do much in these fights, especially with the weave now coming into effect. Oh, this could be a really, really good opportunity. They do see him, but gonna get hexed up right away. Might still be able to get something, but Stampede's gonna go through, gonna go in. Everything's going on at Jenkins. He's gonna live on 20 HP. Might just barely get out of this alive, and they're gonna actually turn it on to the Dazzle. And Shredder, how aggressive are you feeling today, buddy? And you are feeling too aggressive, but Jenkins is gonna go ahead and pick up the kill. So kind of a necessary sacrifice, I guess. Not totally necessary, but a sacrifice nonetheless. So 2 for 1 on the bottom lane. That definitely does favor Flipside. And that's actually the second deny coming the way of AR, so very well played, but Shadow Demon might be paying for his life, with his life here. No, should be expecting that to latch on. Wasn't able to get it. Might be able to, no, gonna back off. And Roche is gonna go ahead and go to the Lycan. So this is huge. This Lycan has now negated the tower advantage of Flipside Tactics. Just in terms of gold, because of the 2 denies and the 2 tier 1s, 1 on mid and 1 on top. Flipside Tactics has only gotten a total of 1,000 gold between those 2 towers, and Roche gives 1,000 gold to your entire team plus an additional 300 to the Lycan. So very, very big kill on that Roshan. Let's go ahead and take a look at the EXP graph. We do see about a 4K advantage sitting for AR. No real surprise, as they do have the 5 kill lead right now, but Flipside Tactics do have enough comeback mechanics that this is not totally lost, especially when something like this happens where they might be able to get just barely enough lockdown. Oh, there wasn't the hex from the Shadow Shaman. He didn't have it, or either he didn't have it up or he just didn't get it off, one or the other, but might have been able to take him down with that because it looks like he'll just barely survive. So not able to get a free Aegis. And they do deny the bot tier 1. So that's 3 tower denies so far, which is absolutely huge for the side of AR. So very well played by them so far. I think this draft just fits them a lot better. It's much more tanky, run at you style instead of the last game where they're like, we'll slow siege. But yeah, Scrobulus is going to find himself a little bit out of position here. Going to get ward trapped and most likely will be taking a spill here. And Shredder coming in, going to be able to get maybe the kill up on the Shadow Demon. We do have a Stampede coming out. Might be able to make it so that they can get out just barely. Yeah, they are going to be able to make sure that the Shadow Demon gets out with that Stampede in the shallow grave. And meanwhile, the Lycan going to get the mid tier 1. So they're going to go ahead. They have to make a decision here. We have no time left on Exorcism, so we can't just say, oh, balls to the wall push, but we're going to say, like, Flipside Tactics just to be like, okay, how much damage do we want to push? Or, put out, what do we want to force? How many TPs? How many everything? The problem that we don't know is that the Centaur is just sitting right here. And they probably know it. I'm guessing. They're pinging out like, oh, Stampede right here, or stop right here. But it looks like the Shadow Demon is going to go ahead and just trade his life away. Just not able to get too much, but nice nice hook stomp onto 2. Going to go ahead and get the Crypt Swarm through 2 also. Realizing they don't have Sunstink, it's just going to TP out, and the Big Bad Bird probably going to be the sacrificial lamb here, as Shibby is trying to keep him alive as long as possible and doing as much return damage in the process. However, he needs to make sure that he doesn't also just trade his life away.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
So AR are going to go ahead and get that tier 1 off of that. So
Towers have
they essentially traded a lot of damage on the tier 2, and Shredder is going to go ahead and no, they'll just barely make it out alive. Disruption's going to go out. Shikuchi still had a couple seconds left on. He was totally fine, and no sentries. No, he had sentries. But anyways, looks like what they're trying to do right now is kind of split up around the map, just do some chip damage, just as much damage as they can to these tier 2s. Just so that they can eventually just come in with an exorcism, clean up one of these, and they need to go back right now. This is not good for anybody in this situation. Shredder might gonna be, yeah, he does manage to pop the Aegis, so that's good for him. And actually that Weaver did stand in the macro fire for a very long time. But yeah, Shredder's just gonna go ahead and take a spill here, just way too much damage coming out from that squad right now. And he only has a perseverance of 15 minutes, he's not gonna be able to survive against any of that. Death Prophet actually is very far behind if he doesn't have anything in the core. Let's go ahead and take a look at the net worth real quick. Yeah, only 5k net worth on the Prophet. That's very alarming just because of the fact that he doesn't have that tank ability to survive up against this lineup yet. And so can't just stand there with Exorcism and be like, ha ha ha. Can't kill me now. But did go for the drum, so it does have the extra mobility. So it's just a very interesting build to say the least. You're going to see the Weaver respawning. Going to go ahead and try and knife the tower, but unable to get it. Then you're going to go ahead and go down by the Shadow Demon. They're going to go ahead and most likely just, just evaporate the Weaver. Still like the idea of the pick, but I think they needed to lane it differently. Maybe send maybe kind of like have a defensive try instead of the offensive try, or sorry, a defensive try with the Venom instead of a defensive try with the Weaver. I think he would have done fine when going up against the Lycan. But yeah, it just seems like Flipside didn't really have a plan. They're just gonna like give away the Lycan and then see what happens. I mean, Jenkins did fine in lane against it, but the main issue seems to have been just the inability to shut them down. And just this inability to commit to towers, essentially, because of the fear of this stampede of the Blink Stomp. Flipside, meanwhile, did manage to get this tier 1, or this tier 2 bottom, sorry, tier 2. Tier 2 bottom. Did force some reactions, so they might try and go and look for a fight. Venomancer does have the mech done, looks like he's 2,600 gold, gonna be looking for his next item. Yep, gonna be that Ags. So I really like Ags on Venomancer, as I think anybody who's played Venomancer does. But yeah, we're gonna look. We have about a minute and a half, I want to say, until we find out what it's gonna be. I think that's what it is. I think like every notch is 30 seconds. It's like 30 a minute. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then we'll find out how long we have left on that Aegis, for the next Aegis. We actually have a dag and pick up for. Okay, I hate this item decision. I'm gonna be up front, like just totally real with you right now. Hate this decision for the Centaur. I play a lot of Centaur, which is why I'm so passionate about it. But I think it's a very weak item on Centaur. It says like, hey, I want to end the game early, and I really hope you guys don't have the mech. And then it's like, oh wait, not in that case, but just literally had 0 time. And they actually are. Oh no, he's gonna. Oh. Let's see, shallow grave. No, not gonna be enough. Meanwhile, up on top, we are gonna have Flipside Tactics cleaning up a kill, most likely getting a tower, but it's gonna be a trade nonetheless. It's gonna be two kills in the mid, for 1 kill up top and a tower. So if they can get out, then it should be okay. I feel like they'll be okay. Yeah. That's an alright trade, but not great, especially considering, oh my god, so much damage done to this tier 3. Like, they have a remarkable amount of counter push, but it's just gonna go down. They just didn't have anything to deal with it. I believe that's a Necro 3, yeah, the Necro 3 of Lycan. Just completely underestimated how much damage he was gonna do. And I think this is AR saying, okay, we won this game, we're gonna use our combo and just burst you down with the Dagon, which I think is very cheeky. I don't like it so much only because I really like building tanky on Centaur, and I like Shivas, and it's like, I don't know, I play like, how I play and how I like think people should play is just like, imagine you're losing at all time. Like, even, oh wow, okay. So you know what I was just like talking about how much I don't like that Dagon? I can totally see where it goes right now. Just keep the Weaver down. Keep him down, down, and down. And you know what? That's the direction the golden experience graph is going to. About 5k EXP advantage, looking towards the side of AR, and 7.5k gold. Looks like this will be another tier 2 being taken, and Shadow Shaman is going to be the one to take the fall here. Centaur just absolutely blowing him up in every way, shape, and form.
Mid tower's getting 1-4.
Alright, so we've got to think, what can Flipside Tactics do to get back in this game? Because right now, they're pretty out of it. They're just getting picked off left and right, being blown up by this Centaur Shadow Demon combination. This was the interaction I was forgetting about when I said that Dagon sucked. Was the Soul Cut to the 50% increased damage on the Dagon at 3. So the combo does about 800 damage right now after resistances, I want to say. Maybe closer to 900. Once again, I'm kind of just like rounding to nearest numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, so they're going to see that that's where the enemy is. We have about 45 seconds until the Rosh is going to be up, but that's probably where our next fight's going to be. So I think the big thing right now for Flipside is trying to find a good fight. And by good fight, I mean having all 5 heroes. Flipside Tactics there, not like this. This is what we call a bad fight. I was going to say having all 5 heroes there, Flipside, and only having 4 there for AR, specifically not the Lycan. And maybe just try and keep these lanes pushed out so Lycan can't just instantly go and take a tier 3. So they can get a fight, kill 2 or 3 heroes, and then TP back, defend against the Lycan. I think that's their only strategy right now, or their best game plan that they could have right now. And you can see the markings going in saying, okay, let's go. We have a smoke, let's poop around, but pathing. Pathing is very hard. Yeah, Jenkins gonna go ahead and respawn now. Might be able to look for this fight. Yep, Rosh just gonna spawn. Things go out. Say, okay, let's kill this thing. I believe that's a Dagon 4. Nope, that's the 3. Sorry. Just like has this jump. But anyways, so it's gonna be a nice, easy Rosh going the way of the Lycan throw. Now we'll have full AC completed on top of this. So it's looking very, very dire for the side of Flipside Tactics. Just unable to get their DP online, unable to get their Weaver online. And yeah, the Venomancer did manage to finally get his farm and stuff like that, but wasn't able to shut down the Lycan hard enough to really, I don't want to say warrant the pick, but to warrant their other sacrifice lane. Maybe if they had gone aggressive this game too, they could have done something a little bit differently with the Veno and the Shadow Shaman tri-lane, Twin-Ended Dragon tri-lane. That would have been relatively strong at least. Maybe not the strongest lane in the game. Certainly not able to kill maybe able to kill Lycan at the earlier levels, but mainly big thing being able to make sure he couldn't farm. Just between the poison, the poison sting damage and the liquid fire. But yeah, Dragon's gonna go ahead and probably take another call here, unless it was a bit of a bait for a fight. We're gonna go ahead and zoom out here, try and see what the positioning looks like here. Looks like Shredder is gonna go ahead and try and commit for this kill. Meanwhile, Lycan down on the bottom lane is gonna be trying to go for this kill, and we can see. Is that me? Yeah, it is. Okay, that's weird. But anyways, we're just gonna see Weaver gonna go ahead and get picked off. Everyone retreated out, trying to defend against the Lycan. And yeah, it worked out to an extent. Let's see if I can get the camera to like not stop. Okay, there we go. So it worked out to an extent, but they trade 2 for 1, which is never a good thing, especially when you trade your offlane or your carry. And looks like that Bird's gonna be taking another fall. And yeah, I don't know. It's just looking really very grim for Flipside Tactics this game. Don't really know where they go from here. And tier 3s are being pushed in, doing a nice bit of chip damage to this Lycan, sort of like slowly but surely wearing him down. but they are going to trade away another hero for it. I was about to say that was the craziest TP in all of history that was about to go out. Fortify finally goes out. Shibian and Shredder might try and find a way, try Voltbase Underline to like take this fight, but a little bit too late on the Yules, probably because of the lag insert. I'm not gonna lie, Shibi would not do that. But just unable to sort of find the rhythm in this game. Lost at least 2 lanes, maybe not. Mid traded pretty evenly, but like Death Prophet trading evenly with a Viper and unable to take the tower afterwards. It's very, very grim. Putting up the best fight that he possibly can. Trying to get every possible little bit of damage out onto the enemy team. But the GG is going to be called out by Shredder. We ended up with a over 15k EXP advantage and an over 20k gold advantage. So really at the end of the day, AR played very well. Just in general, they played very, very well. Won the lanes they needed to, and didn't lose any lanes. So Flipsid Tactics just couldn't find their footing in this game. Just lost the defensive tri lane, and from there, no one was able to sort of get off the ground. Anyways, thanks so much, guys, for watching. This has been, I believe, my total coverage for the JoinDotA League Division Season 3 Division 2. Flipsid Tactics versus AR, going 1-for-1 total. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time, and I get the opportunity to cast again. Thank you, and have a nice day.